Here we go.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to a special edition of the Sports Port. We're here, Candlewood Market, Fairfield, Connecticut. It's a great day. It's a football Sunday, and it's Barnes and it's Mike. What's going on, bro?
Yo, dude. Is this your first time here?
First time here. Great atmosphere right in the heart of Fairfield.
The heart. It is. It is the heart.
And I know you were mentioning to me, I'm going to try this after the show. What's your favorite coffee here?
It's the mocha. I'm having a mocha. It's got almond milk. It's got espresso. It's got some type of chocolate, chocolate sauce in it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Natural, organic. I know you like both those things. Yeah. So you like all three of those things.
Yeah, exactly. So
espresso,
definitely want to give that a try for sure. Obviously, because it's Sunday, we're going to start with some football. So let's get to the world of the National Football League.
Juju Smith-Schuster is blown up. It is caught. DeAndre Hopkins.
Do not stand up with that man and let him just throw you out of the club.
On its way. It bounces off the crossbar, and it's good. Oh, my goodness.
All right. So week 6 continues on. We had our one Thursday night football game. And actually, in about 20 minutes, we're going to get our first game of today. Dolphins at Jags. And this one is actually in London.
I was going to say, yeah, why is it so early?
9:30. And this is a game where two teams, very, very disappointing starts to the season. You look at the Miami Dolphins. They've been out without their starting quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, the last few games. Have only won one game out of their first 5, which is very disappointing. A team that came into this season, playoff expectations. So obviously that's disappointing. Tua does return today, but they are without their 2 starting cornerbacks, Xavier Howard and former UConn alum Byron Jones. So obviously not a great situation to be in as far as the secondary is concerned, but you can overcome that when you're facing a team in the Jacksonville Jaguars that have been the definition of turmoil this season. Came in playoff expectations. You bring in Urban Meyer from Ohio State. You have the number 1 overall pick in Trevor Lawrence, and you're starting this year 0-5 in the midst of a 20-game losing streak. Really could never imagine this. And I just, nothing points towards the Jags winning. Just from what we've seen this year, I mean, they define dysfunction. But for some reason, Michael, I think we're going to see history today. I think that streak gets broken. Any thoughts here?
Really? You think you have faith in the Jags and Trevor and what's the coach's name again?
Urban Myers.
Yeah, you really think so?
So my whole thought here is not so much that
you believe in them,
but the dysfunction of the Miami Dolphins. I
right.
think Tua is never going to live up to the billing, being a 5th overall pick, being passed up instead of Justin Herbert. They go with Tua. That's going to haunt them for years and years to come.
Now, is that is this Barnes being a biased Jets fan towards the Dolphins?
I mean, look at Tua's numbers. I mean, what has he done?
I don't like him either, personally, dude. I think he's garbage. I thought he was.
Right. And then I think, Trevor Lawrence, I think he has a bright future in this league. And it's just crazy that he's already lost more games in the NFL than he did in high school.
Yeah, but I didn't, dude. Come on. Did you really think he was going to have like a great start to his career? I mean,
no, but I thought 10-7. And now, I mean, you look at this, I mean, they'll be lucky to go 7-10 after starting 0-5.
Right.
And you look at this one, the Dolphins are 3-point favorites. So obviously not expecting this one to be, too much either way. But like I said, I like the Jags here. I'm going to say Jacksonville 28, Dolphins 24, and the Jags get their first victory since week 1 of last season. And that would be a way to start the day. Any prediction here, Michael?
I'll go with you on that. I'm not a hater of Trevor Lawrence. I just think that it was going to take time for him, like it will with our quarterback, Zach Wilson. So, yeah, but I think this is the first win of his career. All signs point to it, bud.
Yeah. So 9:30 CBS. So be sure to check that one out. And before we look at the other games here, what's your input on? I mean, there's a lot of talk, whether we're talking baseball, whether we're talking football, whether we're talking basketball, the weakness of professional sports in Florida. Where are you on that? I mean, do you think it's going to always be a problem, or do you think it's really just depends on the levels, the greatness of the teams that are playing there?
Can you repeat the question for me?
So Florida, there's always been a lot of talk that fan support is weak. They can't build a consistent winner. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be out on the beach. They don't want to be watching games. I mean, where are you with that?
I could agree to disagree. I think it's location of stadiums.
Okay, yeah.
Right? What if you put a nice stadium right on the beach?
True.
With the drop looking at the ocean, like the backdrop of the stadium, like you're viewing the football stadium from this angle and there's a nice big window like at the Las Vegas something like that where it's open, you get the feel of the ocean still, and you'll leave, you're right on the beach.
Right.
That'd be sick. And actually, speaking of these Florida stadiums, yesterday Tony was talking about how Tampa Bay's stadium isn't even in Tampa Bay.
No, St. Petersburg,
and
over the bridge.
And apparently they botched the roof.
Yes. There's all catwalks up on the top, so balls can hit there. Just really not a good situation.
Hold on a sec. Everybody out there, you're going to see us go away for 1 sec, but we'll be right back in 1 sec, all right? Just hang with us, hang tight, don't leave. And we're back. All right, cool.
All right.
Yes, I do test.
You are right about, the Tampa Stadium. I mean, how do you have a fixed roof for a sports team in Florida? It just doesn't make sense. You got to go retractable route. And it's a shame, too, because they have had a great team the last couple of years. Obviously, they just got eliminated from the playoffs, but very good regular season team. So just interesting to see. And, there's just been a lot of talk, too, mostly in regard to like Miami Heat fans, that it's a weak fan. It's not
I don't know.
Passionate fan. But you've seen the videos of them walking out and then trying to get back in the finals when they made that comeback against the Spurs and all
tough.
that.
That is fair weather fan.
And it just seems like when you have a great location, you got to take advantage of it. And I think, the biggest thing, like with the Dolphins, a lot of road teams, come to road fans. Anyway,
I'm trying to think where that stadium is.
It's Hard Rock Stadium. I mean, it's
I've been to Miami, and I've actually stayed at one of the hotels across the street, and you look down, and you're looking at the Miami Heat Stadium.
I think they call it Miami Gardens.
Miami Gardens?
Yeah.
So, I've been to that stadium, but I have not yet seen where Miami Dolphins. Oh, maybe they're like down the street, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't think it's that far.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that far. But I think the biggest thing, no matter where you're talking about, what team you're talking about, what sport you're talking about, is you got to produce results. And we know the Miami Dolphins, have not really been in the playoffs the last 15, 20 years. I mean, very little success. So you got to build a winner, and obviously starts at the quarterback position. So this is a big year for Tua. I think if he bombs out, let's say they go 4-13, I think they're going to be looking at a different starting quarterback next year. And I don't know if you've noticed this as well, but with the rare exceptions of like Steve Young, Michael Vick, lefty quarterbacks, where are you?
I know, dude. I wonder what it is.
I think wide receivers are used to the trajectory, the spin from a right-handed thrower. And if you're not an elite quarterback
or elite receiver,
exactly.
You're going to have trouble.
That's not going to work out. So
who else is name those again? Young,
Vic. Michael Vick.
There has to be another.
Tebow. I mean,
stop. No,
there really has not been. I'm trying to think if there was any other lefties.
I'm looking it up right now.
Nothing really. I mean, especially notables.
You're actually Mark Brunell.
Mark Brunell, former Jet.
Yeah, he was. Talk about a. He reminded me of like a Fitzpatrick journeyman quarterback, consistent backup.
Definitely. So just something to keep an eye out on, and obviously, if we get any updates while we're on air with that game, we'll give them to you. And looking, at the other games later on today. Big oldest rivalry actually in the NFL. We get the 4-1 Green Bay Packers traveling to the 3-2 Chicago Bears, Soldier Field. And you look at this one, and obviously, I mean, for the Bears to be 3-2 right now, I think, all the dysfunction, starting Andy Dalton to begin the year. They have their rookie quarterback in Justin Fields, and everyone really didn't have high expectations for them after squeaking into the playoffs as the 7th seed, going 8-8. Last year, so they just to stay afloat and not really get much on offense. It's really been the defense leading the way. I mean, Justin Fields, 458 yards passing, only 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Their leading running back, David Montgomery, is on injured reserve, but they do turn to talented rookie 6th-round draft pick Khalil Herbert from Virginia Tech. So he's had high expectations. Obviously, I mean, the strategy with the Bears here, I mean, you look at how they want to win this game. They're at home. They want to get the fans behind them, but also you need to get their running game going because, to beat Aaron Rodgers, you want to keep him off the field. It's all about time of possession, running the clock down, and I think that's what they're going to try to do today. And this Green Bay Packers defense, I mean, they're not outstanding, but they're solid. So you got to have good offensive line play and really just do some creative things on offense. And there's been a lot of talk that head coach Matt Nagy, a former offensive coordinator under Andy Reid, hasn't really done a great job. So we'll see if he can be innovative enough to have a chance in this one. But you look at the Green Bay Packers, I mean, they lay that egg week 1 against the Saints. But since then, they've won all their games.
They look like Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers locked in. He's got 1,241 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And, Michael, is there a better quarterback to wide receiver combination right now? Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams.
No.
I mean, they're just so in sync.
It's ridiculous.
If you have 30 seconds left in the game, you need to go 60 yards for a field goal, 2 plays, done. Somehow they're always open, and it's just interesting to see too. I mean, there was this talk of speaking of Jordan, that this is the last dance.
No way.
For the Packers. No,
maybe.
Right.
You never know, dude. Like, it's all hoo ha ha right now. But isn't Adams on a 1 year?
Adams, I don't think has a new contract yet.
So he's just gonna go where Aaron goes for probably the rest of the dude. They look like they're playing backyard football.
Yeah, I think so. But also, I do think like if the Packers win a Super Bowl this year, I don't know.
You think he'll stay? But isn't it like? Don't you feel like it's like kind of like Tom Brady-esque, where it's like I've done everything. I did even more than it'd be like I did more than Brett Favre type thing,
right?
And now I can go do what I want.
True, but I think the whole thing's he's just been obsessed with. He needs a say in the organization of moves of what they're gonna do, and I mean they did bring back his old buddy Randall Cobb, in that offseason trade with the Texans, and I think the offense they're calling the plays that he wants. So and you look at this game. I mean, these Bears-Packers games, despite the records, years and years, as they go on, these are usually close games. So I expect this one. You'd look at it from the initial outlook saying, the Packers are going to blow them out. I don't quite think that. I mean, like I said, 6-point favorites, but I do think the Bears will keep this to a single possession game. So give me the Packers 31, Bears 24, and I would say 3 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers, 2 courtesy of Devontae Adams. What do you see, Michael?
Yeah, no, I could see that. But I see more of a blowout, maybe like a 31-7.
I feel like your favorite type of game is a blowout.
Yeah.
Lots of offense.
Yeah. I do like close games, though, too. Don't get me wrong. But I like those for, like, playoff moments. Regular season, I want to see the action.
Right. And I think your mindset, too, always is like, if you're a good team, just do what you're supposed to do. It's all right in front of you. There's no excuse to play down to your competition.
No, never. I hate that excuse, dude. I hate it. It's one of my least favorite sayings, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. And
play down to your competition.
Moving along here, another really interesting game. You look at two teams that came into this year with some expectations. I mean, the Chiefs higher than the Washington football team, but you got Kansas City. I can't believe I'm saying this. 2-3 through the first 5 games. So obviously, very disappointing start. They traveled to the Washington football team, who's also 2-3, and everyone expected, that defense is stout. Good running game. They should win the division. And you look, the Cowboys are dominating that division so far. They're lacking behind at 2-3. The early injury to Ryan Fitzpatrick week 1. So all has not been good in DC, but we've seen that over the last couple of years. But really the story here is, how are the Kansas City Chiefs 2-3? And, they have definitely had some turnovers. Mahomes, 6 interceptions. I mean, he'll go a whole season throwing 6 interceptions. So to throw 6 in the first 5 games, really not, what he's all about. And he's had a lot of yards, 1,490, 16 touchdowns, which is good. But you got to limit the turnovers going forward. And the defense, cannot stop.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
And it's just like, I know, okay, they're not going to be stout, but I would expect them to get it together. And I can't see this being a wasted season for Kansas City. I don't know what your thoughts are here.
No way, dude. I just think it's just a different test to the dynasty. You know what I mean? Like, I just look at it like that. I still think they're one of the top teams. I still think they're going to be one of the top teams. And I still think Mahomes is going to be a generational quarterback, right? So when you have a Mahomes, when you have someone like that on your side, you're never out of it. It's just the defense has to step it up.
Yeah, defense has to set it up, and starting safety Daniel Sorensen, who last week against the Buffalo Bills, Sunday Night Football, they got blown out 37-20, constantly burned all game. They've decided to bench him for this game. So I think that's a good move. You got to get weak links out of there. And I look for, Patrick Mahomes to find his 2 favorite targets, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce early. And, I just don't think Washington has the offensive firepower, especially with Antonio Gibson questionable for this one. You might have to have a different running back in there. So I just don't think they have enough to hang with Kansas City. And I think we're due for a Kansas City blowout, one we haven't seen in a while. So let's say Chiefs 41, Washington 7.
That is a lock I like.
You're just gonna say chalk it up.
Yeah, no, that's a score I like. That's a score I want to see. And plus, Matt has Mahomes as his quarterback, so that's also a positive.
Yeah. And 41 points, you'd expect 4 or 5 touchdowns. So
yeah.
Let's see what happens. And moving along, around the league here, we have the 3-2 Las Vegas Raiders at the 3-2 Denver Broncos, who come in favored by 4. And you look at this matchup. Players on the field. Obviously, Derek Carr has had a really good year. Already 1,605 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So you'd like to, get some more touchdowns out of those yards, but obviously that's a good start. He's been hitting second-year wide receiver, the burner, Henry Ruggs III. He has 348 receiving yards this year. We know what Darren Waller does. But you look at this one, obviously the conversation is going to be, how do the Raiders respond after all that's happened with John Gruden being let go? Do they rise to the occasion? Because a lot of times you look in the NFL or really any other sports league and a coach gets let go, they rally around the interim head coach. And a perfect example of this last year, the Hawks with Lloyd Pierce.
No, totally agree. I see a Raiders win. Don't you?
Yeah, I think Denver, they got some victories, but they weren't against, good competition. And Teddy Bridgewater, there's a reason why he's called check down Teddy.
Yeah.
He does have Cordarrelle Sutton, 377 yards, 1 touchdown up to this point. Jerry Jeudy on IR.
Judge Judy?
You get Melvin.
Any relation?
No relation.
Wow.
You get Melvin Gordon. He's kind of, I think, past his prime a little bit. So I just think the Broncos are the Broncos, and how they've been the last couple of years really have underperformed. And I just look at this as a big spot. I think, a lot of people think, oh my God, the head coach is gone. What are they going to do? But you have to realize that the whole other staff that's been there throughout the offseason, through the start of this season is there.
Right.
Their interim head coach, he's 38 years coaching in the NFL, has never been a head coach. You don't think he's going to relish this opportunity?
Are you kidding me? This is what teams of destiny are written about.
Exactly. I mean,
Sounds like a Kurt Warner story.
You look at the Raiders. I mean, they've been a team the last few years. After that year where Derek Carr might have won the MVP, he gets hurt late. The playoff game against the Houston Texans. They start Matt McGloin and just completely lay an egg. And since then, they've been fighting to get back to this Raiders
season,
team.
Yeah,
exactly. So I like the Raiders here as well. I'm going to say 28-14. The Raiders get it done. Carr, 400 yards passing.
Wow.
And they just put this Gruden thing in the past because it's the National Football League. You don't have time to think. You just have to go, go, go. This is your opportunity, and I think the Raiders get this one done. You get to 4-2, and then, who knows where your season's going to go from there. So I really do like them going forward, and I think, like I said, that you're going to rally around an interim coach. Those are always good stories, and we've seen it time and time again. Moving our way around the league here, we do have a 1:00 game on Fox. We get the Cincinnati Bengals at 3-2, traveling to Detroit to face the 0-5 Detroit Lions.
Dude,
how bad do you feel for head coach Dan Campbell crying after last game?
I know it, dude. I feel bad. Like, he loves football. He loves his team, and he's going to be a coach for a while, I think. I think this is just like, how I always say it takes a year for a coach's
system to get implemented.
Exactly. So I think he's going to be good next year. And I think like the passion he shows makes players want to play for him,
Yeah. Are you concerned though about his caffeine intake though?
When you could tell the viewers what his caffeine intake is, but I do get nervous, especially when he's screaming on the sidelines. I think he's going to drop dead, and I hope he doesn't. Knock on wood.
So I know his routine. He said 2 of the venti at Starbucks. That's the large coffee.
Yes.
So 2 of those with 2 espresso shots in those on top of just the regular coffee.
Oh my God, that's just like one to start the day, or just the full day?
That's to start the day.
Oh wow. Oh my God.
And that's after he started his Lions tenure, in his press conference, saying that the players are planning on eating kneecaps out the field. I mean, we've never seen anything like this.
No. He's Rex Ryan on steroids.
He really is. And you look at the other side of this, you have the Cincinnati Bengals, last year's number 1
always think of Andy
pick.
Dalton. I can't.
I know. He was there a while.
Yeah.
You get Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. They've been a dynamic duo, the former college teammates at LSU. And you look at Jamar Chase this year, 456 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns, leading the way for rookie receivers. I mean, he's really
I love Burrow.
Burrow, I mean, in
the swag.
But the one thing, they got to protect him. We saw him go out of the game last week. I thought he was going to be out for 5 games.
I know.
After seeing that hit. But the Bengals, they've got a lot of hype, a lot of respect around the league. I mean, I think there was only a 3-point spread against them and the Packers last week.
Right.
The Packers end up squeaking that one out.
Yeah.
And it's just hard not to think the Bengals have been the epitome of losing the past 20 years. You know what I mean?
Or the epitome of having a good season and just botching in the playoffs.
Right. I think Marvin Lewis went 0-6, in the playoffs with the Bengals.
Yeah.
But I like we said, I mean, Joe Burrow, I really like what he's about. And I like the fact that you have a receiver in Chase that he's worked with before, and I think their chemistry is going to keep growing and growing. Joe Mixon, who is questionable for this game but expected to play, he's done a nice job running the ball out of the backfield up to this point. 4.2 yards per carry for 386 rushing yards. You look at the other weapons on offense, Tyler Boyd's had a nice start to his year, as well as tight end CJ Uzomah. Nice. The weapons are there. It's just all about protecting Burrow and making sure, that he's not taking these big unnecessary hits. Looking at this game, Michael, does Dan Campbell get what he wants, or is it more heartache at the end of the day?
Burrows win. That's all I'm saying. And also, I'm going to add, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, Packers, Bengals, post-game, did you see what they talked about?
No, I missed it.
Aaron Rodgers told Burrow, you need to slide more. You're too good.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's-
he learned that lesson too.
Right.
They're similar type of style quarterbacks.
And you know I've seen this for years and years, like for the quarterbacks to work on the sliding. Usually, the closest Major League Baseball team will bring them in to do sliding drills. For
Love it.
quarterbacks. I mean,
That's fun.
that's what you got to do. And you know, you look at this one, Ford Field. Obviously, the Lions fans, you know, they're kind of antsy here, want to get a win. But Jared Goff, I mean, he just doesn't move the needle.
He never moved the needle for me, even with St. Louis.
Yeah.
Or
He got
LA.
off to that terrible start under head coach Jeff Fisher. They bring in McVay the next year. They make it all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Come up short, and ever since that Super Bowl, it has all been
It broke
downhill
him.
from there.
It broke him.
Yeah, it really has.
Those games make or break players.
Yeah.
Matty Ryan.
Right. Exactly.
He can never close a game now.
Look what happened, Donovan McNabb. I know
Oh.
it's here, but same type of situation, and you know, hopefully not Patrick Mahomes, but obviously, you know, he lost the
he already
Super Bowl
got one,
last
though.
year. Jimmy Garoppolo
Broke him.
you know, been injured, inconsistent. So interesting to see. But, you know, I'm going to say Bengals in this one,
Yeah.
35-17. And hopefully Campbell's not crying after the game. Maybe only one espresso shot in those large cold brews.
I'm sure he starts like as the day goes on. I can bet you he adds a little Bailey's in there.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
You got to, you know, moving along on the league here, Texans at Colts, 1 o'clock kickoff, you know, this AFC South rivalry game. I mean, you look at the Texans, not the best start after. Coming back out of Wisconsin's been amazing, running, receiving, but at the end of the day, not winning ball games. And I just find it kind of ironic. After the first week, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have a special Hard Knocks road to the playoffs." Indianapolis Colts 1-4. What does that road to the playoffs look like, Michael?
Where do people usually go after playoffs? Like, what place do they travel to go fishing?
I mean,
That's where they're going. That's
North
the road.
Dakota.
The road there.
But I mean, I at the same time though, I do, you know, look at this game and I see the Colts. I mean, far and away the more talented team. You know, just with, you know, even though Wentz, you know, I mean, he's definitely had his ups and downs the last couple of years. But when you're comparing him to rookie quarterback Davis Mills, I mean, the talent gap I just think is too far. And you know, the Colts are a solidly coached team under Frank Reich. So I think the Colts win this one easily. I mean, 28-17. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are here.
I'd say 24-21.
24-21. And is that more of a thought too? Division games closer than, you know, records may suggest.
Right, exactly.
I mean, we see that
In the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely. And moving along here, Charlotte, North Carolina, the 2-3 Minnesota Vikings travel there.
Who's that
face the
quarterback?
Panthers. The Vikings?
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins.
Oh, yeah. Still? Wow.
Yeah, and they, you know, had that game last week where they were basically dead in the water against the Detroit Lions. They end up getting that late field goal to win it. You look at the Panthers, Tony, oh my God, so riled. Sam Darnold this, Sam Darnold that. And he throws 3 interceptions last week. They lose their second straight game. That's kind of quieted down.
Yeah.
And
Lead.
Christian McCaffrey on IR.
Yeah.
You
From
know,
that game. Yes,
yeah,
exactly. I
talking
saw him
about,
get
he
injured.
might play, and then, you know, he doesn't.
Yeah.
The Vikings, you know, were without Dalvin Cook last week. You know, Alexander Madison filmed Admiral B. Michael, say it for me.
Admiral B.
You know, I'm close, but I'm just missing something.
What?
Like an admiral job, but like admiral. I feel like that's a word. It's
Admirable?
Admirably.
Admirable.
We'll call it
Admirable.
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 He did an admiral job. Let's say that. How about that?
There we go.
So Dalvin Cook back this week. So, you kind of get that 1-2 punch. Justin Jefferson has done a great job at receiver for them, since he was a first-round pick last year coming over. Stephon Diggs trade. The Panthers, they're going to have second-year running back Chuba Hubbard fill in.
Chuba Hubbard.
And then Darnold. I mean, it's just like
it kind of makes me happy. Admirable. There we go. Mary Materiello.
Wow.
How are you? I miss you. My camera's right here. Barnes is looking weird. He thought she was over there.
Surprised us. I thought she surprised us.
She's here.
But do you think, honestly, Tony, in an effort to rub it in my face, your face, getting too excited about Darnold early on?
Oh, yeah.
And this is going to end up being what he's shown us the last couple of years.
Dude, I mean, I think he's not going to be as bad as he was as the Jets, but, you're going to see these, INTs. You're going to see these games where it's just, I'm seeing ghosts.
Yeah. No,
I can never forget that quote.
It was so bad because going into that game, I thought, the Patriots, Newton doesn't look good.
No.
We should really win this game. And it's just how many times have you had that thought, with the Jets last couple of years going into the game, this is it, and then here we are. But Darnold was at the helm. He is at the helm for the Panthers. They are at home. But I like the road team in this one. I just think talent is always going to win out. I like that Dalvin Cook is back for the Vikings. He's one of the better running backs in the league. So give me Vikings. Give me 31 and the Panthers 14. Michael.
I'll go with that. I'll keep that score with you, dude. I'll again agree with you.
Okay.
Miss you guys too, Mary Materiello. Anthony is missing. He's not missing because we know where he is. He's at the church gig in New Jersey.
And then two more games to look at quick before we wrap up our football conversation. Cowboys at Patriots. Cowboys been the story of the league so far. 4-1 in this early season. Dak Prescott has had a great return from injury this year. 13-68 through the year, 13 touchdowns. It just seems like receivers are running down the field open all day. What's your question, Michael?
Have you always liked Dak?
Yes.
Me too.
And I always thought, why is anybody giving him slack? I don't understand. He came in, 4th-round draft pick, the underdog story.
Yeah.
No one expected him to take Tony Romo's job.
No.
Basically, Jerry Jones' son.
Yeah. And also, dude, did you know that sadly his mother passed, right?
Yes.
And all his games, before every game, he texts his mom before the game.
Yeah.
How do you not root for him?
Oh, exactly.
And he's got a great relationship with his whole family. He takes, it's just a great,
and then
great.
what he had to deal with his brother. On top of that.
Yes.
So really, really good story for Dak.
I'm glad he's back.
Right.
And give me that contract.
Right. Because he was in limbo for years. Are they going to pay him? Are they going to not? The franchise tag. And then it's just ironic. After he goes down with an injury last year, their whole season goes to shit. And then they say, all right, we're going to pay him. That's it. He's the face of our franchise. And, him and Ezekiel Elliott, they came into the league at the same time. And they've just been a dynamic duo from day one. And Zeke, I think, has really been energized by Tony Pollard this year. He's really pushed him. And they have one of the top rushing attacks in the league. So it's just you can't sit back in coverage against the Cowboys. You can't stack the box because they're dynamic either way. CD Lamb, Amari Cooper, those are weapons down the field. And then you look at this New England Patriots team, 2-3. They've beaten the Texans and the Jets. And just, have not
I hate that we're in that company.
But hey, you just got to be realistic. But the funny thing is, even though they beat us, I don't know.
Next time we play him, it's over.
And then I just think we just have more to build off. Okay, Mac Jones, he hasn't looked terrible.
No.
They can build around him. But other than that, who's the young, big prospect that the Patriots have that's supposed to be the future of the franchise going forward? I just feel like Bill has done a terrible job constructing this roster the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you know who it makes me also think about? For some reason, it makes me think of Saquon Barkley and the Giants and how if you were a Giants fan in his draft and you said, hey, this is what it's going to look like today during draft, dude, no, he'd probably be a 5th-round pick, 4th-round pick.
Oh, yeah. It wouldn't even be close. 2nd overall. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And it's just funny, too, because the narrative on the Cowboys the last couple of seasons, games against teams with winning records, road games, big spots, they come up short. So you'd say, oh, going to Gillette? No way. But this is a different Patriots team. It's not the same old Patriots. So I think there's just a clear talent gap here. And I think this could get very ugly very quickly. I'm curious what you have in.
I just because I know him and I've seen it time and time again, but I'll say low scoring, 24-21, Patriots lose.
All right. I'm going to say 41 to 3. Belichick doesn't even do a post-game presser afterwards.
Wow.
This Patriots team is not good.
No, I know.
It's just kind of like ironic too, because after all the years having to see, oh, Patriots back in the Super Bowl, it's the Patriots. They don't lose. So it's just after having to watch them at the top of the division after all these years, us being Jets fans, it's nice to see them return to earth a little bit.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's awesome.
And then the last game for tonight, Sunday Night Football, Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. We have the 2-3 Seattle Seahawks traveling to Heinz Field to face the 2-3 Pittsburgh Steelers. And how about for this one, making his first start in almost 4 years, former Jet great Geno Smith getting the assignment for the Seattle Seahawks. Came off the bench last week after the injury. Unfortunately,
Do you know how crazy this is? Do you know how crazy this is? Geno Smith, after all the years of turmoil and sadness that we've had to deal with him, he's now in a position, Brian, to finally pay us back. Because guess who has Seattle's pick? And if Seattle falls apart this year, guess who has their pick?
Such a good trade, by the way. I knew it right away.
Genius.
2 first-round picks. Because the safety, you can have the best safety in the world, but it's like, unless you're a team that's competing for a Super Bowl, do you need that safety?
No.
Exactly. So I think you hit it right on the head. And it's funny, too, because Geno played pretty good last week, but how did he end the game? An interception. Oh, it wasn't his fault, this and that. But how many times have we seen Geno do something like that? And how many times will we continue to see Geno do something like that?
I think he's gonna do us a favor. He owes Jets fans. He knows what's on the line. And I think he's gonna deliver. I see a 44-7 blowout. Saints.
Steelers.
Just
making sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame too. Russell Wilson out till week 10. I mean, I think this is going to be the end for this Seahawks run with Carroll, with Wilson. You know, they were almost broke up, this offseason, but they decided to give it a go one more year. But they just don't have, I mean, the receivers are great. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, but the defense just isn't even close to the defense that won them that Super Bowl and almost won them another one if it wasn't for an ill-fated interception on the 1-yard line. Steelers have been a mess to start this season, but Big Ben coming off the win last week. Talented.
Why isn't he playing?
No, he's playing. He's just not playing well. I mean, I would attribute that to his old age. 39 years old now. But he does have a bell cow in Najee Harris, the rookie running back out of the University of Alabama. I think he's going to pay dividends for them. And it was a shame to see Smith-Schuster go out for the season.
Yeah.
But, they do have other weapons, on offense. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. So while I don't think they're an offensive juggernaut, I just think, Geno is going to do something to mess this one up. I think it's close, though, closer than you would imagine. But give me the Steelers 21-17 over the Seahawks. And I think, it'll be an entertaining game. Steelers pull away late, possibly fumble, interception by Geno Smith.
There we go.
As we wrap up our NFL conversation, anything in particular that you're most excited to see this week, Michael, that you're looking for?
Giants aren't playing either, right?
No, Giants are playing the Rams.
Oh, okay. We talked about
Friday.
I forgot. I guess I'm excited to see that game since the Jets aren't playing, and I'm excited to see Aaron Rodgers play because I always like watching him play.
And haven't you felt like it's like just literally a crime basically at this point that he only has one Super Bowl appearance as well?
Dude, I just love this stat. Once I heard it, it was on Greeny's show. Only organization to have two three-time MVPs and have one Super Bowl between the two of them is the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Tell me it's not an organizational problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like what we're going through with the Yankees right now. Oh, we're making the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're not taking that next step,
right,
which is obviously a problem. But, I mean, I think the Packers do have a good shot this year, but of course they're going to have to get through the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well as the Los Angeles Rams. So we will see what happens. And the game has kicked off in London, scoreless through the first 5 minutes to start the game. Any updates we get, we will bring them to you. So it should be an entertaining week 6 in the National Football League.
Yeah.
But let's switch gears here. Let's go to the world of Major League Baseball.
Giving chase at Judge, and he dives into the stand. Giving chase at Judge, and he dives into the stand.
Rob begins the season with an overpowering strikeout of Ronald Acuna.
The wall is gone! 3-run home run! What's going on here? I love it. He drives one to the moon. High, deep, and very gone.
All right. So they're a series away from making the World Series. And, you look at yesterday, they have a decisive victory here in their series with the Houston Astros, 9-5, evening up the series at a game apiece. Good, but not spectacular outing out of big pitcher Nathan Eovaldi, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks. But they make history.
Dude, I didn't know he was a Yankee.
Yeah, dude, he came over, from the Marlins.
2012?
2012, and just really
botched?
Always very botched. High velocity, but not high results.
And then he goes to the Red Sox and does well.
And, he was a part of their World Series team, a few years ago, and here he is.
I just hate players that can't handle New York, and then they go there and botch it, and it's like, oh, the Yankees messed up on that. It's like, no, those people suck.
And most of the time, it is the starting pitching. And, I've had this debate with my friends for years. Is it the friendly confines of Yankee Stadium, short home runs, especially to right field, or is it the pressure, a combination of both? But you look at it,
pressure.
We're talking living legends. We're talking Roger Clemens. We're talking Garrett Cole. We're talking Randy Johnson. Every single guy that starts your career elsewhere comes to the Yankees. That earned run average, Mike Messina, another example, is always higher as a Yankee. So that's very frustrating, obviously, being a big fan. But, we are where we are, and I'm just hoping this is the start of something. Even though we still haven't had an announcement on Boone, we don't really know anything as far as player discussions, movement, what's going to happen. But obviously, as that comes to us, to our attention, we'll cover it. But back to this game, how about the Red Sox? As much as it pains me to say this, 2 grand slams in the first 2 innings, first time MLB history.
From the same player?
2 different players. We had JD Martinez.
I told Tony that. He didn't believe it.
Yeah, well, Tony, he's a skeptic. What can you say? I really didn't see this coming too. Houston is a tough place to play, especially in the playoffs. At the end of the day, that was all they needed. They scored one other run of the game, gave up 5 to the Astros, who had Jason Castro and Yuri Gurriel with the home runs, but just wasn't enough. And it's a 9-5 victory. Series tied at 1. The series will resume tomorrow at Fenway Park, which we know from me being at the game, tough place to play in the playoffs. But what do you think here? Do you think this game 3 could decide the series, or you're thinking all along Game 7, it's all coming down?
No, Game 7, all Game 7. This series looks like it. You don't win one game decisively, and then the next team wins it decisively without it going 7. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
I feel like this is like You didn't get to watch it, sadly, but it was just like the first couple rounds of the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight, where it's just like heavy hits to the head and body until who's the last man standing. And I feel like this is one of them. This series.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I hate both
happens.
of them, but I do really hate the Red Sox. It's almost in my DNA. I don't hate the Mets. I don't hate the Astros. Am I pissed that they did that in 2017? Yeah, but I don't hate them.
Right.
Like I hate Boston.
Right.
I feel like you're a huge Boston fan though sometimes.
Yeah. So, you look at this, of course, for what I've been through with the Yankees and the Houston Astros, very, very challenging to root for them. But, being a Yankee fan, we know number one rule when it comes to oppositions, you never root for the Boston Red Sox. So clearly, I want the Houston Astros to win this series. And like I mentioned before this series started, also, I just feel better that if the Astros win, they can lose the World Series. But for whatever reason, when the Red Sox are in the World Series, it seems like they never lose. I think they must have won their last 4 or 5 World Series that they've been in. But I expect, like you said, 7-game series. And, I think home field advantage will play a role here because Game 7 will be in Houston, Minute Maid Park, and we could have a walk-off home run situation. We will see what happens. Moving on, though, other series, National League Championship Series out in Atlanta. The Braves, a 3-2 victory in Game 1, taking that 1-0 lead. And this was a very exciting game. I actually caught the tail end of it, as I got home last young phenom third, Austin Riley. And this season, Ozzy Albies. Tell me it's not hard to get that.
These names are hard.
Offense. You get Max Fried, 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 5 Ks. The Dodgers mess around with this opener situation. It worked for them. Game 5 against the Giants. Knebel gets to start again, but he does give up a run in the first, and they kind of looked back from there. They did get a Will Smith homer and 2 hits from Trey Turner and Chris Taylor, but Chris Taylor, top of the 8th inning, gets picked off second. You can't make base running errors, especially in the postseason. So that comes back to bite. And I really look at this, though, and the Braves, and I like underdog stories. But at the same time, Michael, I just feel like we're going to get robbed if the Los Angeles Dodgers, after winning 106 games, not make this World Series.
They're definitely going to.
You think this is going to?
This is destiny.
7, though?
Yes. I was going to ask you, though, has there ever been back-to-backs or like a 2 7-game series, NL, AL, before the World Series?
I will have to look that one up. Nothing comes to mind of recent, though. Usually it's like one game is 5 or 6, one series is 5 or 6, the other one goes 7. So not to my attention, but obviously we'll see if something like that has happened, before. And then you look at moving forward here, they are going to have Game 2 tonight, 7:38 TBS. And, who else would you want starting if you were the Los Angeles Dodgers? Max Scherzer. We saw what he's done since he came over. Absolute living legend, and he does it. I think he's 36 years old, almost 37. So it's amazing what he does. Still one of the top pitchers in the league. He gets to start against second-year pitcher Ian Anderson. And I look at this one, of course, road games, playoffs, they're tough to win. But when you have Max Scherzer on the mound.
That's the dude that keeps taking his shirt off and stuff post-celebration.
Yes,
Nice. I like
a couple
it,
beers after the game.
Yes, love it.
But you have your main guy going. There's no way you lose this game.
No. And also, question, is he a free agent?
He is going to be a free agent.
And that's the dude you've been talking about to get for the Yankees.
Yes.
Got it.
Cole, Scherzer, 1 and 2. The only thing that concerns me, and I don't know if it was, obviously you don't like someone being 37, but the fact that at the trade deadline, he only wants to go to the West Coast. But free agency, you got dollar signs in front of you. You're nearing the end of your career. You want to win
World
championships.
Series, yes.
And I think, what's an easier sell than come to the organization that's won the most world championships and that's very, very hungry to get their next one.
Right.
Number 28. I mean, how do you pass that up? And I would give him whatever he wants. Give him, even though it's crazy at the age of 37, give him a 5-year deal at $200 million and say, come win us a championship.
Wow.
I mean, how do you turn that down?
You just want one from him?
Oh,
You want to spend all that money and just do one?
the thing is, so
Talk to me.
I think he can win more than one, but that's a starting point. And when I'm saying one, I'm talking about next season because we know third longest drought in franchise history between World Series victories. Next season has to be the year. And I hope, too, I would feel great about this. Let's say, after the Dodgers win the World Series, get eliminated, whatever the case is, he says, I want to come to New York, but I don't want Aaron Boone as manager.
Wow.
I would love that. Relish.
And then Cole comes out with a tweet that says, hashtag support future teammates.
Yeah. So that would be great. And, when you have a drought, I mean, you see it in any sport, you have to go over the top. And what's more over the top than having Max Scherzer, Garrett Cole, 1 and 2 in your starting rotation? So that, as Tony would say, is what it's all about.
Yes. Or you.
But, yeah, no, I was just
I know.
But I'm going to say tonight we're going to get Dodgers 4, Braves nothing. And I think Scherzer goes the distance, 9 innings, 14 strikeouts. And after the game, he says, I'm coming to New York, baby.
Imagine. No, after the World Series.
After the World Series.
Well,
yeah.
he's getting, popped. He's drinking. He's celebrating. And he just like, I can't wait to do this with the Yankees.
Yeah,
and then he's like, just joking.
Yeah, no. So that would be something, of course. So we'll see what happens with those games. So a lot of action today, and obviously the NHL carries on. The NBA is going to start Tuesday. How about that Jack Hughes goal on Friday night in overtime?
Can I show you it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me get it up real quick. Can you talk to the viewers about why this Jack Hughes goal is so important? What was talked about last Sports Report, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
You made a bet. You bet on the game. You bet on Hughes. You bet on the Devils.
Right, exactly. And Tony was tight, of course, being a Rangers fan. Watch out for the Blackhawks. Watch out for the Blackhawks. And the thing is, the Devils, 2-0 lead. I think they were up 3-1. Somehow it ends up getting tied at 3. We go to the extra period, and Hughes had already scored earlier in the game. And then the way that this goal, I mean, you couldn't write a script to end the game early in the season.
I mean, come on. And Tony was ragging on him. 7 goals his first year, 16 goals his second year. And it's like, dude, rookie, sophomore, junior years are you about to be a star in this league, or are you going to be just a regular role player?
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
And I think we know what's happening for Sir Hughes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's going to be a living legend. Probably similar to Marty Brodeur. I can see him having that
as a Devil. Yes. I totally agree. All right, you can see this over here?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Here's Jack Hughes. Rolls up Hughes.
Makes him fall. Goalie fall. Bang. Wow. And you're telling me he gives the stick to the fans. Dude, I'm telling you, different year, Saban, like Bernier. It sounds like Brodeur. Not really, but BB. I'm telling you, Devils fans hyped. It's all they have in New Jersey. They don't have anything else, right? You know what I mean? Nothing. I'm talking about anything in life.
Exactly. No, you couldn't be more correct, Michael. And the thing is, I have to say, been pleasantly surprised how much I've enjoyed watching hockey so far.
Right.
Still getting used to the names, the rules, the format, the whole 3-period thing. But I have to say I'm liking it. So it's nice to just have a little more range when it comes to hockey, and looking forward to it as we carry on for sure.
Uh-oh.
What do we got?
Ha, 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 ha. Ayo. Barnes. Matthew. Gabriel.
Matthew, how are you? It's funny when you first said that, because I didn't have our comment section up. I thought this was Anthony writing in, because we were just talking about him, the Devils, all that. But I think also, I mean, how do we not go to a Devils Rangers game this year?
We have to.
Yeah.
That's a have to, and the Knicks is a have to.
Oh my God, is it a have to? Knicks, it's Lakers, it's the NBA. Where's the freaking
Got Bagoo.
I thought he said garbage.
Oh, is he saying where's the gabagoo? He did it. Yeah, where's the freaking gabagoo?
It's all Jersey has in life.
It's
But
all, he
the
likes
Sopranos.
Sopranos, they have that. Yup.
Yeah. So
I guess.
we're still due to watch that, by the way.
Oh, dude, maybe tonight is the night.
Yeah. We'll have to definitely sort that one out.
Because Tony's going to be around.
Yeah,
he wants to watch it. Matthew probably is going to be around. It looks like.
Seems like it's got good reviews so far too.
Renee's going to be around. I'm going to be around, and you're going to be around.
Exactly.
And we've all waited. We've all had moments separately to watch it together in different groups, but we've all waited. Tonight could be the night.
Yeah.
Screen time Tuesday. It all makes sense, Barnes.
It all makes sense. The stars align, as they like to say, Michael.
Yes.
How pumped are you, though, that we are 2 days away from opening night National Basketball Association?
Dude, how pumped are you? I mean Jinx. I mean, dude, come on now. Like, you have to be pumped. Lakers season ended early. Let's really dive into it, dude. I mean, just a little bit. I mean, we're here at the cafe. Right. I feel like if there's no better time to do a little mini NBA breakdown before we do another one.
Right.
Tell me, are you excited for Lakers basketball to finally start? LeBron-led Lakers. He has his team rid of Kuzma. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I feel really good about the Lakers going into this season. Of course, did I want to go 0-6 in the preseason? No, but as we know, championships aren't won in the preseason. So I look at this roster. I mean, there's so much depth, so much championship experience. You got MVPs, you got all-stars. I mean, everything that you could imagine. I mean, the one thing that I don't like to see is that my guy – THT, going to be out for a couple of weeks. When?
What did he hurt?
Geez, I thought it was wrist. I think some type of surgery. I mean, they're not saying it's going to be that long, but a couple of weeks is a couple of weeks, of course. But I've mentioned this to you. The thing that I like most about the Lakers is the fact that, okay, I get it. Everyone's concerned. Oh, they're old, they're creaky, this and that. But the fact that you can rest, 3-4 guys a night, but then still have other guys ready to go. And I really like what I've seen out of DeAndre Jordan. And I mentioned this the other day.
Yeah, I saw the highlights after, so I back you on that. I mean, he looks better.
Because I think, in the NBA today, the traditional dunk and rebound centers get very disrespected, very devalued. But at the end of the day, I mean, I know three-pointers are important. But if you just have an automatic 2 points right under the basket, how do you not take advantage of that opportunity?
I don't think the problem's been that with him. I think the problem's been his pick and roll defense the last couple of years. Because, it's been hard to have him – yeah, all that stuff's great, right? But then, if you're not producing – if the team's coming down and pulling 4 threes off of pick and rolls and you're getting 2 twos on the other end in 5 possessions, it's tough. That's like a – 9-point swing, dude, so he does look better. And I looked up the Horton Tucker injury. He got successful surgery to repair the ulnar collateral ligament on his right thumb.
Oh, okay.
So nothing crazy, no knee stuff, no ankle stuff that you don't want to hear,
Right. Or even wrist, really. So that's good that it's just the thumb there. How about 7-3 Dolphins early, 3:13 left in the first. Touchdown pass from Tua Tagovailoa to Jalen Waddle, the former college teammates. So 7-3 in that one. Who do you think the Lakers are going to start at center? Is it AD? Is it Dwight?
Probably AD.
Jordan?
And then have Dwight or DeAndre, depending on who's better in the whatever that streak of games. Come in for Melo, you know what I mean, and then move AD to the 4,
right?
You know what I mean.
And it's funny too, no one talks about this, especially because when he came back to the Lakers after that whole thing, when they won the championship a couple years ago, he was kind of looked at as almost a joke, coming over, why is this guy here?
Who's that?
Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
And do you think that he might have been, or the combination of him, Rajon Rondo, not being on the team last year was the biggest reason why they lost in the first round of the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they should have just ran it back. Yeah. I always like to run it back with the team that wins a championship. You know what I mean? There's nothing like that bond. And like the Lakers did it. Remember back in the day, they did it. And then they lost. And that was that, let it go until it's done. Obviously, you make one or two moves. Like, let's say you have a young guy that, becomes a star during that run and you can't afford him after his contract expires. And that's the thing you make changes with. But I didn't think they should have changed anything really except that year. They won.
Right.
Try running it back.
Right, exactly.
They didn't really run it back. They lost a lot of key pieces.
And it's funny, too, like he's had some...
JaVale, too, bro.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
Like, what are you doing? They were on 1 year minimums. Just sign him again, 1 year.
And the thing with, like, Rondo last year, looked kind of finished, but then it's like he's looked great in the preseason.
Yeah, amazing.
I guess it's just all situation, but it's just like Rondo, I swear, and maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it just seems like the past 5 years, if he was on a playoff team, they gave him 30 minutes a game, that he would have possibly been an all-star. Like, I really think he's still that good.
Yeah.
It's just like his game is passing. It's basketball IQ. It's not based on speed. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Well, speaking of IQ real quick, Matt, I like that comment. Knicks Lakers finals.
Hell yeah.
But other than did you see Lonzo Ball's IQ last night?
No.
There was a ball, there was like a crazy play, rebound, tipped. Chicago Bulls player hits it. It's about to go backcourt. He's sprinting. And I think it was not Vucevic. The other big man, I can't think of his name right now, was running Steven Adams was running at him.
Right.
And for the ball. And Lonzo jumps before he gets to the other side of half court, like to the other side, and takes the ball and throws it off Steven Adams to get it backcourt.
Oh.
That is basketball IQ.
Yeah. No, Lonzo's impressive.
No, he is. But Rondo, yeah, you're right, dude. Like, I was watching highlights of him with the Celtics, dude. It was ridiculous how good he was. It just sucks, dude, that, like, he still has the same jumper, but it's like he's an old head. You know what I mean? Like, he's old now, and he's just confident in his shot.
Right.
Where when he was young, he just wasn't confident in his shot.
Wouldn't even try it.
Wouldn't even try it.
Like a Ben Simmons almost.
Didn't you hate that, though? Like, as a fan watching him, being like, dude, you're with Ray Allen.
Right.
Like, how do you not just sit in the gym with him and learn? But
and then the fact that they would leave him wide open on the top of the key. I mean, you got to try it.
Speaking of Ben Simmons, what are you thinking about all this hoopla?
I think he's going to end up being traded at some point this season. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, dude, the only reason he came back is because he had $1 million in fines.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah. Exactly. It's not going to happen, but
AI tweeted at him?
No.
AI said, handle your business or something like that. Best fans in the world, Philly strong, blah, blah, blah. So basically, like, trying to motivate him, I think, to be like, dude, come in here, do your job, finish the job. Though, these fans aren't, like, they're just, but it's not gonna. I think him and Joel are gonna fight, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, Kathy Gabriel. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Happy
Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
I want to see a Kyrie for Simmons swap.
Wow, dude. You hear Stephen A. Smith? He said if you make that trade, they are winning the World Series, the NBA Finals, hands down. Brooklyn with Ben Simmons. Perimeter defense.
I mean, it makes too much sense because it's like you already have enough offense between Harden and Durant, and just getting rid of a distraction like Kyrie. But I don't know. When does he play? Does he play again in the NBA, Kyrie? In your opinion, your prediction, taking out your 8 ball?
Yeah. All right. So I predict that he will play. I think the ban will get lifted, like I said, sometime Christmas to New Year.
Okay.
I think it's going to be around there, and he'll play then and play the rest of the second half type thing.
But do you think as soon as his contract's up, I think he has a player option for next year. But do you think as soon as the Nets can get rid of him, they do? Because I just feel like Sean Marks,
he has
Steve
a player
Nash,
option next year.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna, dude. It doesn't matter about Sean Marks. It doesn't matter about Steve Nash. It's KD.
What about Joseph Tsai?
Owns him.
He owns them.
No, KD owns them all. KD owns them all. They did it all for him. They knew. Dude, NBA owners talk
right.
Like in detail, like the stuff we don't know about, the conversations that they've had with Kyrie. Yeah. They've talked about it with the Brooklyn Nets owners. You know what I mean? Like this is what you're getting, like for real. And like they knew it, but because they wanted KD. That's how good he is. And if KD gets pissed this year, dude, bye Kyrie.
Right.
It's that simple. And dude, you know as well as anyone, and I know you don't like Harden, but like him and KD, that's a great duo. Like,
oh yeah,
you put all those
honestly,
defensive players around them.
Yeah. No, I don't mind the combination of them. I mean, you know, Durant,
You just hate Kyrie the most.
Yeah, it's really just
because Harden's a baller. Like he loves to hoop. He like at the end of the day, we can say what we want about him, but he does love to play the game of basketball.
Oh yeah, I just didn't like the fat.
Me either.
I thought that was embarrassing.
Yes,
and it's just not professional.
Yes, there's a certain way to go about things, and that was not the way to go about it with that. It's like, hey, I don't want to play here anymore. Imagine if he did this. I don't want to play anymore. Was in shape, came out and balled and everything, and let's say they're still winning, but he's like, I'm just doing this to leave on a good note. So I don't
get fined?
Just to leave on a good note with you guys. You know, you guys did a lot for me. I did a lot for you. There's no need to have a bad breakup.
But the thing that was really unfortunate about this is the Houston Rockets the past 5, 6, 7 years made every move with James Harden in mind. It's completely built the team around.
Same with Philly, though, with Ben Simmons. It's the same shit.
Yeah, but it's just like, and then to see where they are now. I mean, I know they have some of these.
They have
young
good
guys.
pieces though. KCP, Kevin Porter, KPC, KPJ, Kevin Porter Johnson, whatever his name. No, Kevin. What's his name?
I'm really like blanking on this.
Second year, he's the youngest player to ever have 50 points.
Undrafted second-year player, Jashon
Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green. The second overall pick or whatever it is.
Yes.
They're going to be good. And John Wall, they're going to get a trade from him. You know, John Wall, where do you think he's going to go? Yeah. You were going to ask me. Where do you think?
See, the thing is, the salary is the problem.
But what if he agrees to a buyout?
He agrees to a buyout, he's going to the Brooklyn Nets.
And then,
I mean,
why not? Yeah. Kyrie's not going to play, you're saying.
And then, because I can't, I was going to say, maybe something with the Sixers, but it's just like the Rockets have no draft picks left and John Wall versus Simmons. But it's a shame because not that he's definitely nowhere near worth the salary that he's getting, but he's still like a starting player, probably
John Wall?
top in the league at point guard. But
of course,
everyone's kind of like he doesn't shoot, he's paid too much. Like everyone's very down on him.
I mean, you can understand why, but I'm sure if he was bought out, a team would love to have him.
Yeah.
He's still explosive. He still is damn near the same player. It's not like he has even – remember D Rose, like after those injuries, like he's just not the same bounce.
Right.
It's not the same thing with John Wall. Like you saw him play last year. He still has all that spring dunking and everything, doing all those crazy moves, but it's just like you said, it's the money, it's the age, it's the finding him for a right team. You can't be on an all-young team loaded with young guards that you just drafted number 2.
Yeah, no, you couldn't be more right about that. Who's your league MVP this year?
League MVP is going to be Luka Doncic. I saw a photo of him last year coming into the preseason and like pressers, and he just looked like so like chubby and out of shape and stuff. And this season, he's really trimmed it down, really come already into the season in shape. So you're telling me Luke has been doing all that stuff out of shape?
You know what just came to mind? How about KP for Ben Simmons?
I would do it.
I mean,
you know what? It would make both teams better.
Oh yeah.
I think Kristaps and Joel would be like a bootleg Tim Duncan, David Robinson,
and like the short-lived DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. Like that
even
was
better. Yeah, it was. That sucks that he got hurt.
When he was on the Lakers and
New Orleans, because they were going
to be good.
Yeah, they were going to go deep into
Holiday was team.
Dude, that first round they beat.
Golden, it wasn't Golden State.
They lost to Golden State in the second round.
Yeah,
I forgot, but dude, imagine if they had Boogie healthy with that.
Yeah,
I don't know if Golden State would win that series.
And I could be wrong, but isn't he not even on a roster right now? I don't understand that though. He didn't seem like he did that bad on the Clippers last year.
Oh wait, he might be on the Clippers still. Let me look.
Because he was obviously on the Rockets. They released him surprisingly. I don't know how they didn't trade him last year. But he's the guy that I thought the Lakers might bring him back this year. But obviously they brought back so many people. I mean, at a point, you're maxed out on how many players you could have on the roster.
I'm seeing where he is. 2021.
What do we got?
Toronto.
Cousins? What?
No.
It doesn't seem right.
Team TOT.
Let me just see.
Oh, that's no. Sorry, that's bad. Clippers last team. I don't think
Who last played for the Los Angeles Clippers. He's
but
only
he did
31.
Yeah, but he did play for Toronto.
No.
What's TOT?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you see that?
No, that didn't come up for me.
I'm on Basketball Reference, and if you go,
but you know what that probably is? Total between Los Angeles and Houston.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, at 31 years old, he's got to get an opportunity. And who knows? I mean, maybe if the Lakers have an injury or something, I could see them bringing him in. I just think he could still really score. And like, how do you not want him on your bench? Do you think it's a locker room thing?
I'm looking at he's past that, but I'm trying to think. What teams could use him right now. Maybe you know what? What about Minnesota off the bench?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why not just go back to Sacramento? Right the ship.
Oh, dude, that was an ugly breakup. Like,
yeah,
I mean, and honestly, dude, you know what Sacramento is.
Dumpster fire.
It's where careers go to die.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Boy, I can't believe we sit here only 2 days away. NBA, going to be great.
I can't believe it, dude.
Nets, Bucks, Lakers, Warriors.
Let's
doubleheader.
Go.
TNT. It's
with
Barkley,
the crew.
It's Ernie Johnson, Shaq.
What do you think about the other crew that does it when they come in to fill in for them? It's like Dwayne Wade,
Adam Lecco or whatever.
Yeah. What do you think about him?
I
think he's a gimmick.
Lecco?
The dude, right? The guy.
The host,
he's like kind of young, but not really. But no, I don't like him at all.
But
really.
you know who I think is very good is Candace Parker. She knows basketball.
Yeah, but
I know she's in the WNBA now.
She's in the finals.
But I think she's gonna do. I think once that season's over, she's gonna be back in there.
Oh yeah.
Because I think her and D Wade seem like they're like pretty good friends.
I don't know. I just don't like D Wade there. I just don't like. I like the original crew.
How about Chris Webber getting the boot?
Oh my dude, have you heard him on NBA 2K? He's horrible, dude.
Yeah,
so annoying. He's like Paul Pierce. They just talk about. They always revert it back to their careers.
Who do you think resurfaces first? With the network, Pierce or Webber?
Webber.
Yeah,
Pierce is all over the place.
But it's because
Pierce will do his own podcast or something.
But Webber, basically, the only place he could go is ESPN because NBA TV, right? Aren't they owned by Turner or they're in like partnership with them?
I think so.
Yeah. So going to be interesting to see, what happens. And I think, we were talking about MVPs before. I think Giannis gets another MVP.
Dude, his jumper looks good.
Dude, he's going to hit easily 100 3-pointers this year.
I know.
And maybe 36%. I mean, that's something you got to watch out for.
He might average 35 points per game.
15 boards.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll see, though. I could see him doing well in the regular season with this, but I think the postseason is going to be different because it's like his first time actually trusting his shot with those moves because he's doing different stuff. He's like pulling up. He's doing like this, post one leg fade kind of Dirk thing.
Right.
And I don't think his first time remember when LeBron was with the Heat and he lost that first year?
Yes.
I think it's going to be similar like that. Like he's going to be in those positions tight game and he wants to do those moves and he will, but it's not going to be the result because he's not like, it's, how the playoffs are. It's a different animal. But then the next year it's like, oh, I got this. You know what I mean? Like then it's going to be a scary Giannis.
Yeah. And it's crazy. What, 27?
I think so. He might be.
Which is crazy because it seems like he's been in the league for 10 years. But I guess if he did come in at like 18, I think. So that seems.
No, yeah, he did. 26.
26. Okay,
he'll be 27 this year soon.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
But we are set.
Yeah.
For a great NBA season. I can't wait.
I can't wait either, dude. I really can't. And before we close out, I just want to talk about how biased DAZN is. It's a boxing company that puts on a lot of fights, obviously, but they're just so gung-ho about Joshua. It's so pathetic. And I told Barnes this pre-show, and I'll say it again, but they posted a new post on Instagram featuring Anthony Joshua flexing with the title belts, which he doesn't have anymore. If you guys don't know, Usyk defeated him. I'd say 2 weeks ago, Barnes?
Yeah.
About 2 weeks ago, defeated him. So DAZN finds it appropriate, I guess. Their social media team, very smart and highly educated social media team, decided to post Joshua with the title belts flexing, and then you swipe to the right and it's him with his record since October of 2017, and it's like 23-2. And obviously, if you guys don't know, he lost in 2019 to Andy Ruiz, and now just most recently 2 weeks ago. And it's just pathetic. Honestly, it's really pathetic. And I understand why Tyson Fury just absolutely obliterates DAZN, Joshua, Eddie Hearns. He's a little rat. You could just tell that the British. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Eddie,
yes.
yeah, he's just like, oh gosh, dude. And I understand why Tyson Fury rips them because, I mean, Usyk just won. You'd think that they would like just advertise their new champion because he is a part of the DAZN team boxing organization. I don't know. It's just fraudulent.
You know, I always ask this question: what's next up?
Dude,
what do we have to look forward to?
So Joshua and Usyk have a month, or no, Usyk and Deontay. I'm sorry. I heard that Tyson has a month to sign a contract with Usyk, but right now Joshua is trying to fight for a repeat, a second fight.
Okay,
but
he doesn't want to give it to him.
Usyk.
Yeah.
Usyk does not. Obviously, he wants to fight Tyson Fury, it wouldn't be as glamorous as a Joshua Tyson Fury fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny. Tyson Fury came out. I watched the video, and he said he would train Joshua for the Usyk rematch,
and then fight him,
and then fight Joshua just to beat him. You know, he even said also, he is another quote from Tyson Fury, our guy here at Downtime. He said that when he fights Joshua, that he will knock him out by this third round, and if he doesn't, he's a man of his word. He said he'll just sit in the corner and yell at him the whole time, and he won't. That's how confident he is that he will put him down, and I believe it, dude. Tyson Fury. And dude, Deontay Wilder, did you see it? Have you seen the video that surfaced of Tyson going to congratulate him and Deontay saying back to him, no love, no love, no love. Like can't even open his eyes. And Tyson's coming in there to congratulate him and that's why, you know, I love that part of boxing where it's two titans respect each other at the end. But yeah, dude, you know, the thing is you would have loved that fight because you hate the gimmicks, you hate all the celebrity shit. Right. And dude, we'll sit down, all of us that, you know, Tony wants to watch the fight too. Yeah. I would watch it again because it was that good of a fight. It was like watching a movie.
Right.
It really was. It was amazing. Amazing.
Nothing like a good bout, you know, for sure. But so we don't even have anything.
We don't have any
stone.
No.
But that's the problem. I talk about this all the time.
I know, but that's the thing. They've sped the process up. There's a month post fight.
But not even just Fury though. Like there should be other.
You know Usyk and Joshua. There shouldn't be a question. It should just be already. They should fight like in a month, basically, or 2 months, I should say, because they fought like 2 weeks ago. So you like get like recovery for a month, basically full recovery, and then 2 months of 6 weeks of training, 1 month of publicity. You know, going and marketing the campaign, basically,
right, and
then fight.
Yeah. What's your thought though? Honestly, though, on the whole promoting a fight. Where are you with that?
I like, dude, just watch Tyson Fury. He is just an honest man up there going and talking shit to the guy. He's telling them what he thinks of them. And obviously he puts on a little show for the fans. I don't think they need to do as much of a tour. I think they should just select like 1 or 2 major cities to just throw a banger type of presser, like one in the beginning of the setup when they set it up, official, sit down, talk type thing, and then one before, weigh in, talk shit again, fight. Yeah. Right? Like, don't give me 10 of them in between.
No, but you don't want to tour the world?
No, yeah, like, what are they, a freaking the Backstreet Boys? Like,
one last question for you. What's going on with Geontry Davis? Anything? Does he have anything scheduled?
you know what's funny? I was hoping Geontry would fight Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia just announced that he will be back in 2022. Had to just get wrist surgery.
Okay, and Davis is
That would be the fight.
right. But Davis hasn't fought in the last. I don't think
I think it's maybe it's been like 6 months now, Barnes. Right? Since that last fight.
Yeah, jeez, I gotta look this up here. Only 26 years old, by the way. It seems like he's been fighting, for 10 years. So if we go to his page here. Okay, no, they do have him scheduled December 5th, Staples Center.
Against who?
Rolando Romero. So Rolando Romero, 26 years old, from Las Vegas, 14-0.
Yeah,
14-0, but has beaten Anthony Yiggett, Avery Sbarro, Jackson Marinez. Not exactly household names.
No. I wanted to see I wanted him to fight Teofimo Lopez. Do you know him?
I've heard of the name.
Teofimo. I wanted those two and Garcia. That's like if I can compare it, it's like the lightweight to heavyweight. It'd be like Tyson is, I don't know. I like Lopez. I think Lopez is the best one out of all three.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that the three-headed monster of the heavyweights. Those are the three-headed monsters of the lightweight.
And I don't know.
And Devin Haney.
If I'm just my standards or expectations are too much, but in my opinion, I just feel like it's like doesn't need to be every week. Let's say every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think there should be 3 or 4 guys on a card, names, and like just easily available to watch fights.
I know that's why UFC took over.
Yeah, but and this isn't changing anytime soon.
No, I don't think so.
Are you disappointed in yourself?
Yeah, of course. I'm glad though that Tyson Fury handled business because Tyson's gonna change that. Right. Tyson's a boxer. He wants to box. He doesn't want to sit around. He was pissed that the fight took so long. That's why it was kind of closer than it was in the beginning. Right. Because it's been so long. It's been over a year for him because of the COVID, because of the him getting COVID. Right. Post-COVID. Right. So COVID happened, then he got COVID. So that whole stretch, it's been a year since he last fought. And it's just like any other sport, you could practice, you could go play fives, you could go do everything. But how when you get in the game, right, it's always a different beast.
Exactly. So, and you know what? I guess I've seen this more in the UFC, but someone is very on a hot streak. Yeah. Knock out someone in 20 seconds, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fight in 2 weeks." Yeah. Because it's like, they didn't take any hits. Why not?
Right. Exactly. In boxing, I think Tyson. Like that's the thing. It's like when it sucks that if Joshua won, we would already have it scheduled. Yeah. Do you know what it'd be scheduled already. Right. But Joshua freaking lost. Like I couldn't believe it, dude.
Wasn't he like minus 1,200?
Yeah. Oh, like he should have, dude. He really is like George Foreman. Just like you think Deontay Wilder's a bad fighter. He's actually, you know who he is? He's fucking Klitschko. He's just like Klitschko. He beat Klitschko because
Vitaly or Vladimir.
No, Vladimir. That's funny. It's so funny they even talk about his brother. But no, Vladimir. That's why, dude, Tyson Fury is gonna dance. He calls Deontay Wilder a basketball player. He calls Joshua a CrossFit person.
Dude, that's funny.
He's like, they're not boxers.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my God. But anything else on the way out,
dude?
Michael?
That is it. Yeah. Shout out to Candlewood
Market. Thank you for having us.
I mean,
love this space.
Look at it behind us. I mean, in front of me, behind you. It's a beautiful.
The natural light.
Yes.
The calming environment.
Yes.
And like I said, in the heart of Fairfield, Connecticut.
Yes.
Thank you again for having us, and thank you to all of our loyal fans for keep commenting, liking, subscribing. Everybody enjoy their Sunday. We will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.